Next, let's actually move the paddle with the key down here. So let's remove this alert, and we're going to say we want to call the paddle, and we want to say move left. We don't know what the paddle is, so let's put it in our constructor. And in our index.js file, let's pass the paddle to our input handler. Alright, now we need to create the move left function on our paddle. So let's say here move left. And what's going to happen here? Let's say we have the paddle has a max speed. Let's set it to 10. And the current speed that it is moving is 0. Alright, so when we move left, we want this speed to be equal to negative max speed. So it'll be moving at negative 10 pixels per second. In our update function, we now want to say this.position.x plus this.speed. So when we tell it to move left, the speed becomes negative 10, and then when we update, the x position gets moved a minus 10 amount. Let's try it out. There we go. So the paddle's moving. I want to slow it down a little bit here, maybe move it to 7. And the other issue is, once it gets to the edge of the screen, it keeps going. We want it to make sure that it cannot leave the bounds of our game. So what we'll say here is we'll say if this.position.x is less than 0, this.position.x will be set to 0. There we go. Now it stops when it hits the edge of the screen. Now all we have to do is do our move right and we'll be done. So right here we'll say paddle.moveRight. Go into our paddle class, make a move right function. This.speed equals this.max speed. So it sets it to the positive 7 we have here. Whoops, let's refresh that. So there we go, we can move it left, we can move it right. But again, just like with the left bounds, we need to make sure that it can't go off the right side of the screen. So if this.position.x plus this.width is greater than the game width, which do we have here? We do not have, so let's save this here. This.game width was game width, and this.game, well, we don't need the height here, so let's just stick with the game width. If the x position plus the width of the paddle is greater than the game width, then this.position.x is equal to this.game width minus this.width. Now, does that make sense? Let's move it to the right. So if the x position plus the width of the paddle is past the edge of the game screen, we set the x position right here where the x position plus the width will line up perfectly with our game screen.